Building a game is easy. Building a community is hard. My name is Travis. I'm the creator of Libertas, a card-driven tabletop skirmish game that I hope to one day bring to the market and enjoy playing with other people. Now, it's not that creating the game doesn't take work and effort. I've spent years developing the skills that I use to 3D model, the graphic design, and produce this game, writing the rules and the lore and everything. And I've spent hours upon hours of my time investing into this. But I have control over all of that. I have complete control over when I get home from a shift at the rock quarry, if I sit down in front of my computer and actually start working on my project or continue working on my project. I have complete control over when I feel any aspect of my project is satisfactory, or even if I feel it's great. But a game is not really a game if nobody will play it, right? So having a community behind this game is extremely important to me. Perhaps more important than all of the nitty-gritty details of the game itself. I would almost rather have a mediocre game that is fun, but not spectacular, that has a passionate, driven, excited community behind it. So I've really started to shift my focus into creating this community, building this community, encouraging people to join me in this process as I continue to work on the game and help influence it along the way. We've already done some of that on this channel, and it's great. But building a community, unlike the game, I don't have the control in the sense that I can't just come home and sit down and work by myself. Building a community is way more complex, and it relies on influence. And I have a whole nother video about the difference between control and influence. So I'm not going to get into the distinction here. But essentially, in building a community, I have to influence people to not only look at my game, but then to decide how they feel about my game. And it's important that they decide how they feel about my game. Obviously, I want people to really be excited about it and passionate about it and tell other people about it. But ultimately, I have no control over that. And a couple of things I've noticed about trying to build a community around this game is that negativity is loud. And I don't just mean in my own head. I don't mean like when I receive a negative comment or a critical comment that I'm dwelling on it and focusing on it. Because honestly, I always find some value, even in people who are extra critical. There's always something to gain from what they're saying. So negative comments in themselves don't bother me, and I find them to be useful tools. But what I mean when I say negativity is loud, it's that people who are critical tend to be the loudest. They find something and they want to tell you everything they don't like about it. They want to write you paragraphs and bullet point every single detail that they do not like. And that's fine. That's great. Like I said, I get something from that. But people who actually like something tend to be more quiet. They're not going to write you paragraphs about all the things they like about your game. They're not going to bullet point everything they like about your game. The positive ones tend to be like, hey man, good job. And I really appreciate receiving those comments. But you should understand that the negative comments are going to be the most thought out, the most vocalized, the most extensively written. So it makes you second guess if you're even on the right track. If you're anything like me, I'll read these comments and then I've got like a couple that'll say, hey man, nice job. And then paragraphs of all these things they don't like about my game from other people. And it makes me ask myself, am I on the right track? Am I going a completely wrong direction? Because this is not the response I want to receive about my game. It's difficult to get people to care, especially in a complex world that we live in. There's a lot going on, socially, globally, in people's personal lives. It's incredibly difficult to stand out, to even get people to take the time to acknowledge what you're doing or that you've made something at all, much less ask them to form an opinion about it. So it's really difficult to get people to care. And it's also difficult to find the right audience. I find when I publish YouTube videos that YouTube will show it to a good amount of people, but they're the wrong people, they're the wrong audience. And some of this may be because of the way I title my videos, the topics that I am talking about, things like that. I'm not faulting YouTube, and I can't completely fault myself because I'm going to make what I'm going to make. I'm going to say what I want to say. But there's something there. When a video gets 5,000 impressions, but only 20 clicks, it's obviously not even being shown to the right audience. And that's really difficult to navigate. It's really difficult to preemptively create content that will for sure find its way to the right people to view it. Because I know the tabletop gaming community, the miniature wargaming community is massive. And I know there's a lot of people out there who are really passionate about this stuff. And of those people, some of them will be really passionate about my game, positively or negatively. However, if they never see it to begin with, they'll never know. They'll never know how they feel about this game. So these are some areas that mostly I have no real control over. I can only influence. So I'm asking you to help me out. If you're watching this video and you've maybe seen some of my other videos about my game and you think that, hey, you know what? I want to see this become something. I want to help grow this into something that we can actually play together. Then please share, please comment, negative or positive. It doesn't matter to me ultimately. I just would really like to build a community around this game and really find that right audience. So if you know somebody that falls into this category that would really enjoy something like this, share it with them. Tell them about it. And if you have any advice for me moving forward, please let me know in the comments. And just remember, until you do or don't, you can. I'll catch you next time.